Alright, what we got here is, alright, I've already got things in place, so I'm not going to take them back out. But basically, according to JT's instructions, you want it 3.5 inches off the ground and about an inch, or I'm sorry, a half inch away from the tire. So a couple of 2x4s screwed together gives you 3.5 inches off the ground. And I went to my local hardware store and bought some 5/8 OD hose, and I've got air hose because it's kind of stiff so it doesn't squish very easily, and 5/8 is, as you know, 1/8 more than half an inch. I figured err on the side of caution to give you just a little bit more space. And then with some Gorilla Tape, just tape them in place, and using the groove on the tire to hold them down. That gives me the proper spacing when pressed all the way up against the tire and down against the 2x4s. It's pretty well lined up. I can see it's flush against the tube here, and it's pressing against the tube down here. That's pretty much it, and it's pretty well aligned on the fender. I'm just going to take my punch to mark my holes. Mark. Alright. Now, the screws he provided are supposed to be self-tapping, so we'll give that a shot. So we can make sure nothing moves while we're working. Okay, let's give that a shot. Oh, I think she's about to go. Let's get the shavings out the way. And drive it in there straight. Alright, let's see here. Angle's gonna be a little weird. And there you go, she's already in. And I don't recommend threading it using the drill. That's why I'm taking it out and I thread it using the socket, because in that way you can use your hands to drive it in straight. Now it's just a matter of, I'm going to do my little bit of paint correction on this to cover up my little scuff, and then some Loctite, and Bob's your uncle. Alright, I got our Loctite that we're going to use on the bolts. Well, I've already put a fresh coat of flat black paint to cover up my scars. We've already got our holes drilled and tapped. So now it's just a matter of sliding this guy in place and inserting the screws. So, underneath, and slide it up. And go ahead and get a screw ready. And I'm using the, this is a Loctite stick, but it's the medium strength. It's the removable. Alright, let's get the first one started. It's right there. Okay. Yep. Alright, this one's going to be a little of a challenge because I did get it askew. Just as a note, I figured, I feel kind of as a worst case scenario, you could always drill through and through and then just put a bolt with a locking nut, sort of like what they used to put the fender itself on this one side here. But yeah, I think that would be my one kind of suggestion, would be on the back side, make the holes elongated, keep this one the way it is, but make that one elongated so you have that little bit of adjustment, that little bit of kind of wiggle room. I mean, I don't know how much torque that is, but it's kind of like, okay, I'm pressing with 2 fingers, and yeah, that's tight. If I really crank down on it, I could go further, but then that would probably strip it. And that's it. That is not going anywhere. Excellent. I give that a thumbs up. I definitely like that it's tucked in there, it's discreet. You definitely have, you know, a nice, you know, that's plenty of clearance between the tire and the fender itself. But like I said, I used, you see, well, it only says the ID on here, 3/8, but at Ace Hardware on the thing, they give you the ID as well as the OD, and the OD on this was 5/8. So basically just 1/8 of an inch more than JT's recommended 1/2 inch. And I figured that extra 1/8 of an inch compensated for the groove that I sat it into. But that made, you know, get your 2 hoses and a couple 2x4s, because if you don't already know, a 2x4 is not really a 2x4. A 2x4 is actually 3.5 inches by 1.5 inches. That's it. That's all she wrote. So yeah, I give that a big thumbs up. I like it. One more step to being ready for our next little trip. Of course, hoping that we actually won't get to try it. And not get to try it, meaning hopefully we don't hit any bad weather. But yeah, it looks good. I like it. Straight and not all that hard. I mean, obviously difficult getting lined up in there to get those bolts, but like I said, I think this is fine. I am off just a pinch on some of these because they're at an angle, but my thinking is I'll try this out, see how it goes. You know, I don't have a problem with that the way it is, but if down the road I see that these are kind of vibrating loose, I don't have a problem with just continuing the hole through and through and getting a bolt, like a carriage bolt, and a nylock nut to secure them in place. I mean, I don't care if there's a, I honestly don't care if there's a couple bolt heads sticking right here. Big deal. I mean, and you know, as I saw with the drill, you can get in here and drill it straight out, so it's not like you'd be crooked on the bolt side. 6 1/2 dozen the other. But anyway, those are my thoughts. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks, JT. See you down the road.